Hello everyone and welcome back to the rigging closet. Today I've got a little bit different today. I'm not going to be using the snatch blocks, but I do want to talk about wire rope, or as we're also referred to it in the towing industry, cable. So I had a few questions this week on cable, and I wanted to go over some stuff. So instead of, you know what, maybe there's still a lot more questions out there, I wanted to bring them up. One of the first questions was right lay and left lay. Was it really a thing? Is it really a thing? Yes, they do exist, but for the most part, most of the industry has gone to right hand lay. And for the if anybody's ever seen it, to where rule of thumb is you lay your hand out and the direction your thumb is headed, the right hand, and the right hand is the way the wire rope or the strands are laid or twisted. Anyway, for the most part, the towing industry has gone to the right hand lay, and that was back in the days of the winches, and they were, you know what, I'm glad I wasn't part of that, to where there was problems with the winches and the way they spooled up, and they was having problems. So the three different types of wire rope that I'm going to be talking about is going to be fiber core and steel core, then super swedged. I hope you can see the difference, at least in the super. So these two you should be able to see the difference in those. So first of all, fiber core, all it means is this core. Oh, first of all, construction. What the heck does it mean when somebody says a 6x19 construction, a 6x25 construction, or a 6x32? The six, the first number would be the strand, how many strands, so it's six of these strands. And the second number, 32, it means there's 32 little wires inside each strand. So if you count those, there's six in there. And I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to take apart so I can show you the core. This was just it's a scrap that was in the warehouse that I took apart. So let me get to it. Okay, so now I expose the core right here. Most of the time it's something like a hemp material. If it looks like paper, but it is, or rope, that like a hemp rope, that's what it looks like to me. And that's what it, most of the time, what it is. So on that situation, it's impregnated with lubricant. So every time the wire rope flexes, it pushes out some lubricant. So it is protected from the inside. And then of course they're always tacky and sticky on the outside. So it's being lubricated. It is flexible and all. So once again, 6x25. So this is 6 of these strands. 25 wires to each strand. So in other words, think about this wire rope made up of several different little wire ropes, because they're twisted just the same way and they have a core just the same way. So fiber core. And all of these three are 3/8. So now we have the steel core. So steel core, so what is the main difference? The main difference is that the core itself, the name, it's in the name, the core is now made up of another, what I would call another little wire rope or cable running through the middle versus the hemp little insert that it has. But what's the difference? Well, it's going to be a little bit stiffer. It's not going to be as flexible, but it will be stronger. I mean, try and take this apart without you know what? I wouldn't be handling this if it wasn't brand new wire rope. If it was used for any little bit, I'd be wearing gloves, because I have sliced my hand open. When these barbs come up, the wires or the strands start having little wires that break and stick out just a little bit, and you run your hand and it slips through, slice. I've had it done. I've worn gloves ever since then. So once again, the strands, and the core will be steel. Same difference. It's just another little piece of steel wire rope inside in the middle, which is load bearing, so it raises the working load limit. And I'm not going to take this one apart because it would take me for a while to get it done. And of course, I still have it taped up. But I hope you can see that. It is more compressed. See how you can see the strands here and here? They look smooth because they are smooth. The super swedged means that the cable or wire rope is drawn through a die. Let's say it started off life as a 7/16 wire rope, steel core, drawn through a 3/8 die. So it's compressed down, and let's consider it as all the air gaps were taken out of it. So what does it do? Well, now it's considered a 3/8 wire rope. So what is the other? What is the benefit? The benefit is strength in a 3/8 with the strength of, I don't want to say the strength of a 7/16, but it's still a higher strength than a standard fiber core, a steel core. Then the next one is, guess what? It's not as flexible. It will snap back. So if you don't have tension, you put this on whatever, a rollback, a wrecker, and you don't have tension on it or tie those hooks back, your winch will look like a bird's nest. And that's what this will do. Guess what? Just leave tension on it. It will work just fine. But yes, it is a little bit more difficult to run a snatch block on it and stuff like that, but it is stronger. Oh, some of the terminology. Don't get overcomplicated, or don't make it overcomplicated. Sometimes the terminology, the EI, hold on, I'm thinking about it. The EI, extra improved plow steel. That is just means what kind of steel, what kind of metal is used to, or in the creation of the initial wire itself. That's just it. And the working load limits are, hopefully I can get it in there somewhere. I'm just getting it from the BA decals. Oh, and then all this information, it's nothing new. It's no secret. It's in the catalog. And this would be a good time to call your specs and usage for the wire rope. So if there's any damage, that's usage. Oh my gosh. There's a big old kink, or there's strands actually broken, or one wrap of strand is completely missing, chunk it, you got to replace it. But having that catalog, or just as a reference, is like I said, is a good time to call your distributor, get a copy of the catalog. It's not a bad deal to have one around. Another thing is the fiber core. I've seen it used a lot more on the northern states, to where there's a lot of ice and snow, to where the salt gets used. Guess what? They love this because the fiber core pushes, it stays lubricated longer because it works itself internal all the way out. I was in South Texas, no salt, no snow. Well, sometimes there's ice. But we didn't get all that salt, so steel core, we had a little bit of strength, added strength to that. So it was just one of those components. Swedged socket, thimble, this little metal device on the inside of the eye, and of course latch hook, a hook with a latch, and this one happens to be a swivel. There's also a self-locking hook that I do not have on me right now. So once again, hook with a latch, swivel, thimble, and then the sleeve. So if y'all have any questions, comment below. Thank you for watching, and wear your gloves, because those wires are no joke. They will slice your hand. I don't even know where that scar is, but it's somewhere in my hand to where I pulled on the winch cable, and it locked in. The free spool locked, sliced my hand, and I will never forget that one. So gloves after that. So thank you for watching, guys.